Against a backdrop of thousands of years of Native American history and nearly 500 years of European and American history, Beaufort has a lot of the past to explain to tourists and researchers. To do that, two museums there go about the task from very different angles. Inside the famous Marine Corps Recruit Depot, the Parris Island Museum not only reflects marine history, but the long history of the island.
We, of course, discuss the history of Parris Island from the very early Native Americans that were out here. We talk about local military history. We talk about the presence of the Marine Corps on Parris Island. And we talk about 20th century Marine Corps history, the period during which Parris Island graduates would have participated. We have really here over 4,000 years of history, and we try to work this in. We have a very large museum. We have over 10,000 square feet of exhibit space here, and we use artifacts, photographs, sketches, drawings, maps to try to at least give you a flavor of everything that's happened in this region concerning military history, from the earliest days of the French and the Spanish all the way up to current recruit training.
The museum houses a wide variety of Marine Corps memorabilia in a spacious rotunda setting. It's enough to bring out the Semper Fi in just about anyone. You might think that only former Marines would be interested, but the museum has a pretty diverse visitor base.
The museum gets a wide variety of visitors. We get everything from tour groups to people just off of I-95. We especially cater to the parents of the graduating recruits. Parris Island trains all men from basically the eastern half of the United States and all women in basic training. We get over 100,000 people a year here. What we try to emphasize is that the base is open to the general public. Anybody can get to the base, but you need to have proof of insurance for your car, your driver's license, and your car registration. And then you're given a pass, and you can come onto the base and visit the museum and visit some of our other historical sites as well.
In historic downtown Beaufort, another long-standing museum offers a region-wide interpretation of history. This museum also has a military connection. It's housed in an arsenal built in 1798. Beaufort's history stretches across a large geographic area and a wide historic period, something not easily contained in a single museum. Work is underway to revamp the Arsenal Museum to tell the story of the entire region.
You have a whole wealth of stories from the Native American involvement in this area, the attempts to settle by the Spanish, the French, and the Scottish settlement that was here in 1682. You have Revolutionary War history, Civil War history. You've got the slavery, the story of Reconstruction. You have the truck farming industry in the 20th century and the growth of hunting preserves, people coming down from New York and buying up old plantations and finding new uses. So there's so many stories that can be told, and basically every major part of American history has some connection to Beaufort. Beaufort is a natural draw for many people. It's a National Historic Landmark. And within the bounds of our Historic Landmark District, we have hundreds of buildings that were built before 1900, and probably 100 that were built before the Reconstruction period. So the antebellum history is still alive here. You can walk the streets and you can see things. So you don't have to necessarily go to a museum to experience local history.